Alrighty then, g'day guys, and welcome. My name is Michael, I am the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to Curse of the Crimson Throne, our Pathfinder 2nd Edition adventure set in the world of Galarion, in the city of Korvosa, a land gripped in chaos and anarchy. Joining me today are these wonderful and amazing people who are my Patreons that help support the channel and get to come hang out and spend a cool day with me, which is a lot of fun. Hi guys, how we doing?
Hey, Dad.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Alright, everyone's a little quiet, but that's okay, I can bump that up. Sweet, I am so excited for today's game. We are about to embark on a new quest, which is going to be a lot of fun, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy it, because this is probably one of my favorite quests in this adventure. But before we dive into that, guys, first of all, we need to give a couple of shout-outs here. The first shout-out, of course, goes none other than to our lovely sponsors for the channel. These guys help us keep the lights on, in addition to, of course, our wonderful Patreons. So thank you, of course, to none other than Hero Forge for the wonderful artworks you see on screen, Sirenscape for the wonderful sounds you'll hear throughout the game, and Fantasy Grounds for the VTT that we use. All of these things help us look good, so do go out there and have an explore of these cool things. And if you like it, yeah, use them, because they're cool. Next up, of course, we want to give a quick shout out to some of the individuals that we do actually use on the channel that are map makers, because I am not a skilled map maker. So if you do have a online TTRPG thing, or if you print out maps for yourself, consider having a check out of these Patreons and supporting these amazing content creators. Alright. Next up, let us of course meet the wonderful cast of people that will be playing today, starting with none other than the rootin' tootin' gun shootin' Padrick, played by the wonderful Twiff. G'day, Twiff.
Hey, well, yes, I am Padrick Perdita. I am a half-elf who has basically been kicked out of college, where he was going to study to be a wizard, kicked out of his family because it was uncovered that he is actually a half-elf, and his father not being an elf and his mother not being an elf, that was kind of concerning. Got him disinherited. He turned his talents from magic to guns, so he's a gunslinger. He is not rootin', he is not tootin', but he is shooting.
Fantastic. Next up, of course, is none other than the fairy rogue Holly, played by the wonderful and incredible Malakisa.
Hey everybody, how you doing, Doug?
I am doing well, thank you. Tell us a little bit about Holly.
Holly is a fairy rogue who decided she didn't want to take part in her family marrying her off, so decided to go off and have an adventure, just like in all of the books she has read. And she does not have any great trauma in her background. She has a perfectly fine relationship with her parents, other than she ran away from home because she didn't want to get married. And she has recently just been traumatized by one of the other fairy family nobles who was messing with her and told her parents were dead, and now they're not dead. And now it's a big issue, and she's had a lot of feelings recently.
Indeed, lots of feelings, which came about from a number of curses. Also, Holly is gruesomely diseased, but we'll get back to that later. Yeah. Next up, of course, playing the noir investigator, the very, very savvy Quinn, is none other than the wonderful Ire Genasi.
Hey, Michael.
Hello, how are we?
Very well, thanks. As you noted, I am playing the investigator Quinn, investigator by class and investigator by trade, native to the city of Korvosa, and hot on the trail of some interesting stuff right now.
Indeed. And now, unfortunately, we aren't joined by Fido today. We do wish Chad the best, but of course, Fido, for those of you who wish to know, is our android ranger who travels with the group. Awoken after a long slumber in the city, he seeks to kind of put peace to the turmoil that the city is currently suffering. But last and absolutely not least, playing the role of our Kitsune, I guess, wandering druid of the wilds in the city, is none other than the wonderful and incredible Rykon!
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, he left a He left the BRB in the chat.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Well,
just
there we go. It's so off. Well, I say it's off-putting. It's not off-putting. It's so difficult to say because I didn't notice the BRB, and it's because he's right there.
He's still there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Rykon is playing, of course, none other than our Kitsune Druid. Currently, he is searching for answers regarding and searching around a drug peddler who has gotten one of his friends addicted to a very virulent drug. He is trying very, very hard to get to the bottom of it and put an end to the drug trade here in the city. So yeah, that is our group. Now, guys, as always, when you're on the Dead Aussie Gamer channel, we're not asking you to just sit there and watch. We're asking you to participate. So if you're watching us live, then consider, of course, interacting with us and helping shape this game through either channel points, which you earn from just watching our stream, or through donations. All donations till Wednesday are going towards a new computer, because as some of you noticed even today, I'm having a little bit of trouble with my streaming and my computer stuff, so I'm saving up to try and fix all those problems. But of course, every single donation also does something cool with the game. For $5, you can award a hero point to a player of your choice, which allows them to stave off death, gain advantage on rolls, and petition the GM for utter nonsense. For $10, I will go through this deck of plot twists. And then take from which 3 options for you to choose, and then immediately that plot twist will come into fruition. Sometimes these plot twists have really kind of thrown games for a loop. Other times they've been super beneficial and helped our group pull out of a dangerous situation. Whatever the case is, yeah, they're really cool. For $20, you can give someone the coveted golden 20. These 20s are simply natural 20s that our group can call upon at any time thanks to our donators. For $50, we can buff a boss fight. Basically, we just increase the difficulty, make things cooler and harder, or, if you feel kind to the group, you can provide them a magic item. This magic item is usually something that is going to be helpful to them in the immediate action, but if you have an idea for a magic item you'd like them to have, you can petition it, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. Lastly, we have our secret menu item. The secret menu item for today is a friend in low places. That's the secret menu item. That's what you guys get. A friend in low places. All right. I think that brings us to the end of all the starting stuff. So, without any further ado, should I say, let us begin. All right. That's a little bit epic for what I wanted. Let's dial that back a bit, please. Here we go. How do we go with this? Much better. Okay. Now, when last we left our heroes, they were seeking blackmailable material for to try and prevent a man by the name of Governor Ampre from buying out plots of land in old Korvosa. The reason being is Governor Ampre is one of the Chelish nobles. The Chelish being, of course, a tyrannically ruled kingdom to the south. In theory, Korvosa is on the outskirts of the known conquered territories of the Chelish, but for the most part they've enjoyed a modicum of freedom thanks to the late emperor. However, since his death, once again, Cheliax has basically set their eyes upon the city, trying to buy out as much of the property as they can in the wake of the riots and the chaos and carnage. To that end, Cressida Croft, the captain of the guard, needed a group of adventurers to do a good but unlawful act. By going into Eel's End, a den of sin and vice, and finding blackmailable material for Governor Ampre, you have basically used it in order to try and prevent him from buying any further properties, obviously threatening to release this information to the public should he continue. The information that you have found is a sordid love affair with another noble from the Chelish Empire, one with ties to the crown. when we last left, you had acquired this blackmailed material and sent it off to Cressida in order to have it dealt with. You receive word back that the ploy has worked, and Governor Ampre is on the next ship out of Korvosa. The next few days are restful. Having dealt with, of course, Devargo, the king of spiders, in order to get this material, it is probably best to lay low for the time being, as many people who often deal with Devargo often go missing or find themselves in accidents. During this time, our heroes, just basically rest, they recuperate, they repair their weapons, their armor, and other things that they need to do in order to maintain themselves. When, on a beautiful Thursday morning, there is a knock that comes at the door to Quinn's investigation department, or whatever you call it, detective agency.
I go and I sort of open the door, just a little crack, and I look out. Yeah.
On the other side, you see what looks to be a Shoanti man. The Shoanti are the native tribes to the far north, barbarians who live and survive off the land. It is incredibly rare to see one in the city, even more so to see one at your door.
Can I help you?
The man standing at your door looks like this. All right. He says, I am looking for a man by the name... I am looking for a woman by the name of Quinn.
That's me. Can I help you with something?
He's still talking through the crack in the door. He is not accustomed to Korvosan traditions, so he is going to simply continue respectfully. The man is dressed in the garbs of a shaman and says, I am seeking help, and there are friends of mine in the city who have said that Quinn is a detective, someone able to find those that are lost within the city. My son is missing, and I need someone to help me find him.
At this point, I'm going to open the door and gesture him inside. Please come in and sit down.
He does so, and as he does, you watch as he takes off his sandals and leaves them at the door before entering and sitting down.
Okay. So your son has gone missing?
He seems to be quite saddened. Even in his old age, you notice that his eyes are cloudy and white. You're pretty sure that this individual is definitely blinded in some way, but seems unhindered by by his affliction. He says, in a manner of speaking, you see, my son was part of a delegation that was to come to Korvosa in order to discuss land rights. Many years of conflict between the tribes of the Shoanti people and Korvosa have left very little room for diplomacy. My son and a few others had come to the city in order to seek out some measure of peace. But, unfortunately, the delegation was attacked. My son lost his life to many of the people during the riots a few nights ago.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that.
He nods, accepting your condolences. He says, my son was a proud man, but prouder still is his tribe and those that love him. In our culture, it is imperative that the bodies be laid in the Cinderlands and then returned to the spirits. When I came to retrieve the body, I met with one of the field marshals here. She informed me that the body had been taken.
Which field marshal did you speak with? Was it Cressida Croft or another?
It was Field Marshal Croft, yes.
Hmm. Did she indicate who had taken it?
She had suspected that a number of individuals who had paid off, he seemed unfamiliar with that term, who had paid off grave diggers, had sold the bodies to necromancers or others who use them for nefarious purposes.
Hmm. That is interesting. So, did she tell you that they had already interred your son? They had already buried him?
No.
And then, okay.
The recovery of my son was interrupted by one of these grave dealers
Okay.
who have stolen the body. I have managed to quell the anger of the Shoanti tribes for the time being, but they have given a deadline of 1 week. Should the body not be returned, then there could be war with Korvosa. The field marshal is searching, but she told me to come here and seek out Quinn. She says that your
understand.
expertise might be more suitable than the gods.
I suspect she's not wrong in that this would be a delicate situation for them. Are you staying in the city?
For now, yes.
Where might I locate you?
He gives you the address of a very kind of middle range accommodation. It's more of like a friend's house than it is an actual like inn or tavern.
Right. And I'm sorry, did he give me his name? Or, I mean, you described him as a Shoanti warrior, but I'm not sure I
He
got
did
his
not
name.
give you his name.
And may I have your name, please, sir?
He says, "Apologies, I am 1,000 Bones, member
1,000
and
Bones.
shaman of the Skull Clan of the Shoanti." Although he does say something else, which I will say in a minute once I find out what their clan name actually is.
Okay.
But yes, carry on.
Well, I thank you for that, and I'm again so very sorry for your loss. I will touch base with Field Marshal Croft and see if I can gain any more information from her about where the body was taken from, at what point, and what location in the city, and then start tracking it from there. I will follow up with you at this address.
Thank you.
And keep you posted as to my progress.
I greatly appreciate it, as do the clans. He stands up and bows before moving shakily back to the front door. He places his sandals on and leaves, leaning on what looks to be a large staff that he left outside. Also, the clan is known as the Squanqua. Squanqua.
Squanqua.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he will take his leave. Now, a few things to note as we delve into this. The Shoanti barbarians, as they are called, are native to Varisia. They are kind of like they're kind of like the Varisians themselves. They trace their lineage back to the first settlers, the Aslanti, who resided here. And some of the clans are very, very into their war, as in their culture is built around battle because they share borders with things like Belkson, which is the land of the orcs and stuff. There are also those who live on the sea and live on the river. There are those who live in the Cinderlands and raise horses. The Skull Clan are spiritualists, so they are the ones who handle and deal with the dead. So the fact that the son had died is kind of like a very, very deep spiritual thing. It's like, not being able to put one of the clansmen to rest is a very important thing, especially with the Skull Clan. This is just common knowledge, I think, for Quinn and the tribes. Like, you don't know too much about the rituals specifically, but you would know the clans when when they get brought up, because they're literally outside the doors. All right, now Quinn, you know the following. There is a area to the south of the city known as the Gray, which is down here. Let me just share the map with my players here. The Gray is basically the graveyard. This is where everyone in the city gets buried and the like. If the sun was taken, as it were, or sold, likely one of the workers here in the Gray would have been involved in that in some way, shape, or form. However, again, it is quite a dangerous sort of area if you are dealing with, like, quote unquote necromancers or grave robbers and the like. It probably would be in your best interest to not go it alone.
Understood. And I presume that Holly and Padraig and Dante are staying. Hey guys, are you staying at the Varisian lady's house?
Yeah. So they're staying at Zalara's fortune-telling house.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the dead woman's house is better than my apartment. So.
All right. So I'm going to make my way there.
Okay. It takes about an hour to cross the city and get ready and stuff like that. Padraig, Holly, and Dante, what are you guys doing on this morning, if you would?
So we've sent the blackmailing stuff. I mean, Padraig's usual routine, of course, he cleans all his guns, he gets all his stuff ready. He might be reading some of his old books on magical theory, just kind of keeping his head in that. But also he's got, he's acquiring more knowledge on the mechanics of gunsmithing and stuff. So if he's had time to acquire any literature on that, he might be studying that.
All right, not a problem. You learn a few different things, especially the fact that traditionally guns and magic do not intermingle well, and that's why there are very, very few of what they name spell slingers out in the world. Part of this is because the origins of gunslinging and firearms comes from a land to the far south. Beneath, ironically, next the land of magic and mages, is a place that is blighted by war known as the Mana Wastes. This place is devoid of magic, and it was here in the city of Alkenstar, a capital city to the Mana Waste, that gunsmithing and black powder was created. It was used as a means to deal with the fact that magic was not very readily available.
Interesting. Oh, well, it's a challenge then. Not many people have been able to merge the two, magic and guns. He's kind of encourages him more to really bring those two together with his studies.
Michael, you responded.
I got that right. I got that again. Freaking silence wizard. Holly, what about yourself?
Holly would have started trying to map out some of the noble fairy lineages she remembered to try to figure out if Puck had any sort of relation to the guy that her parents was trying to marry her off to. But in the process of doing that, she woke up feeling not quite as rested as she should have been. And I'm guessing by this morning, she couldn't even get out of bed, and she's laying in bed and cuddled up to Penny and really not feeling well right now.
there is like literally a conspiracy theory board that is interconnecting the various Fey noble lineages. Holly, your family is a reasonably well-known family, and you kind of follow the lines of Puck's family and the like, as well as the person that you were supposed to marry. There does seem to be a small relationship in the sense that Puck and your fiance, as it were best friends in basically what was a boarding school for tricksters, as it were. Yeah, that's probably about as close as the relationship gets. That being said, Puck's family have been known to kind of be asked to make things happen, and happy accidents they call it, and that is what they dabble and deal in. Yeah. Excellent. Dante, what about you?
Since he wouldn't have had much to do since there's downtime, he probably would have gone back to doing his normal hunting thing.
You're not going to look into the drug dealer?
This would be something for like the morning stuff. Like during the day, he would have done that.
Sure. Yep, not a worry. Now, around just after breakfast, there's a knock on the door, and Quinn is standing there. Just to kind of, for the sake of brevity, Quinn, I presume, updates you on the circumstances surrounding the request from Thousand Bones, the missing body of the Shoanti's son, and also, because I know I forgot to mention it, there is mention of what the son does look like, which is, of course, a 28-year-old man with Shoanti tattoos all over his body, legs, arms, torso, face, depicting his particular story. A lot of them have a very skull motif, as per the Skull clan, but he basically says, they need the body intact to perform the ritual. All right.
Understood. So I impart all of this, and I say that a good place to start looking is likely the Gray, which is where the cemetery and the grave diggers are, to see if we can find a grave digger that probably sold off his corpse to necromancers, at least as a starting point of investigation. Is Holly like someplace? Are you in the main room, or are you?
I imagine if Holly's
off somewhere.
I imagine if Holly's asleep, there's like the main area of the fortune telling lodge, and around the corner is like several sort of walled off rooms, which Holly's in one of them with Penny. As soon as you get into the door, kind of by the room. Holly, you're awakened by this very, very large, fluffy tail from your husky as it starts whacking you back and forth.
Hey, Holly, you around?
What?
I'm gonna just sort of stick my head over. Oh, you look like crap. Are you okay? Is she like sweaty? Are you sweaty and clammy?
I'm probably everything. I don't feel good. I just want to sleep. I don't feel good.
So, Dag, I'm trying to remember the nature of the curse, because if it's been 2 days, she feels really bad.
She does indeed. You have a look, and it's not hard to tell that Holly definitely doesn't feel at 100%. Let's see. Did we write down your details regarding
I'm sure I
things?
did somewhere.
Okay, so it's sewer haze and blight burn. If that's correct, yes.
No, that is right.
Okay, let's find out what your symptoms are here. So for those of you who weren't here for our earlier encounter, Holly has contracted a few diseases, and these are now beginning to manifest. So, sewer haze. Ironically, this disease is believed to have associated with Otyugs, which you've actually dealt with. So this is actually not a surprising one. Can I get you to make a fortitude save, please?
And that one's for me.
That one's for you.
Okay. What do I need to roll?
Fortitude save. Now, fortitude is your ability to stave off, constitution-based effects, disease, poisons, all that kind of stuff, exhaustion. Yeah, that is what your fort is. So,
no, what do I need to hit? Sorry.
You need to hit a 23.
Okay. I'm going to use my nat 20.
All right. Very well. With your nat 20, you avoid the symptoms of sewer haze. All right, let me burn up that nat 20 real quick. Also, thank you to chat for providing said nat 20.
Of course, Holly, this means that the symptoms for the other disease you have are going to be worse.
Well, let's find out. So the next one is Blightburn. I never actually done Blightburn before. Here we go. Blightburn sickness. Here we go. All right. Oh wow. Okay, this is impressive. Okay, here we go. The ceiling of the vault of the Black Desert is studded with deadly crystals that glimmer like stars above the dark sands. The Black Desert, by the way, is an underdark desert, so it's like where the drow are and stuff like that. These crystals are radioactive and filled with lethal energy. Creatures who are native to the vault have developed a resistance, but others have developed a virulent disease known as the Blightburn. Okay. DC 32 on that fort save.
You're muted, by the way, Holly.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's literally not possible for me to roll that.
If you roll a crit, it will actually increase it by one step. So as long as a natural 20 doesn't critically fumble, you'll be able to make it with a nat 20. So is your fortitude, your base fortitude?
Base fortitude is 6.
Is 6. So even with a nat 20, that's 26.
6.
So that is not a crit fumble. So that's fine. Yes. So if you get a nat 20, you will pass.
I feel
only
like
a
you
nat-
should use
Yeah.
nat 20.
Yeah, you basically have to get a nat 20.
Oh.
You have another chance.
I mean,
That's what I wanted.
I mean, hypothetically, those are the same odds that you needed to use. It's very much in that one. You do have two. You do have two hero points. Like to use a hero point? Okay, good call. Good call. I definitely don't recommend progressing this disease as quickly as that. That is not another one, is it?
Ow! It is. Ow!
That's 2 hits in a row. I blame all of you for saying I rolled really well. You jinxed me.
Can you so I mean Robert's in chat here, and so he knows that I play with this rule. This isn't just to mess with people, but I do I play with 3 KO, which means if you roll 3 nat 20s, you instantly live. Alternatively, I also play with 3 KO, which is if you roll another nat 1, you instantly die.
Yep.
As we have made 2 nat 1s, you will get a free fort save. This one will not change the effect of the disease. But if you roll another natural 1, you will actually succumb to the disease. So, if you would please, Holly, 1 more fort save.
Okay.
That 1 is dangerously close there on the dice. All right. Okay, well, thankfully, you don't instantly die. And I just need to... Could you make a note that Sewer Haze has had one saving throw against it? Once you get your second saving throw against it, it'll be cured, basically. You'll have worn it off.
Okay.
All right, the effects of Blightburn, though. The effect of Blightburn. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, you suffer Drain 1 and Sickened. All right, now I believe... Okay, so, you don't notice it because it's very minute. But so that you know what's happened, Holly, you have aged 2 days.
Oh no. I can see this going horribly wrong later.
Oh, yeah. Basically, the way that this disease works is you will continue to accelerate your aging process as you continue. As this does continue, you will eventually get to a point where every day will be the equivalent to a month, and then eventually every day will be the equivalent to a year. As is the nature of this particular disease. Also, we now have Emergency Chicken Noodle Soup has just tipped $20. Thank you so much. I imagine just from the name that will give the nat 20 to Holly. Which, of course, you will need tomorrow for your next check, which is very, very important. Thank you, McBluff. Hello, police. The dice are trying to kill me.
Now we know that we need it for the second roll and not the first one.
Yeah, no. Breccia, by the way, that would be an assault with a deadly D20. That's how I would shape that to the police. All right. So, to clarify, Quinn, Holly just appears to be. It appears to have been run ragged. Looks very much like she hasn't slept in like a week. Because technically, according to her body, she hasn't.
So, we could go to the Abdaran temple and see if they have somebody who could, I don't know, do they make house calls?
They do make house calls.
Okay. Do you think you could, are you even well enough to get up and get around, or do we need to go get someone to come and visit you to see what's wrong with you?
I don't want to visit anybody. I just want to sleep. I'm tired.
Okay, I'm also going to put a caveat on this. There's actually no solution for this, so it might retire Holly if Holly doesn't decide to get out of bed and do stuff.
I guess I'll get out of bed and do stuff.
I mean, look. I mean, there's stuff I can do. It's just like, yeah. So the actual impact and implication of what's happened to your character is you take a -3 penalty on your rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically it.
I will drag myself onto Penny's back.
Oh, and you've lost some hit points. But that's fine.
Permanently, I believe, right?
Well, as long as you have the drain, yeah.
Hey, Quinn, you remember those gloves you picked up? Those were supposed to be some sort of like healing gloves or medicine gloves or something. Do you think those might help? She does look pretty awful. Did we ever figure out how those things work?
I can still hear you.
Yeah, I know you can hear me.
Yeah, and you don't feel good, and we're trying to make you feel better.
Making me feel better does not consist of saying I look awful. I'm still cute.
There's a tiny little bucket of glitter next to you. Just
Patrick's eye twitches. He turns to Quinn. Like she's been like this all night. Yes, you're still very cute, Holly, but you look like shit as well. You just look like cute shit.
Pink, sparkly.
Yes,
shit.
like if you know. So if you
look like unicorn shit. Is that better?
I don't think so. But just okay. Where are we going? Let's just go do the thing. I'm too
Where
tired.
are
to
we
do-
going?
I think we should take her to the Abdaran temple before we.
Yeah, see if they've got any clerics available.
All right. Packing your things, you begin to journey across town, eventually coming to the large and golden steps of the Bank of Abdar.
All right. Is that nice greeter lady standing outside?
Yes. As you arrive, you can absolutely see one of these glorious servants to Abdar, brilliant white and gold raiments on their person, as this beautiful woman steps forward and says, "Hi, welcome to the Temple of Abdar, where we serve you and serve the great nation of Korvosa." Emblazoned on her chest is the symbol of a key, and in the sort of the back of the key is a picture of a city. All right, well, what can the temple do for you fine and weary travelers today?
Thank you so much. My friend is unwell, and we were hoping that we might be able to find someone to help her.
Of course, of course. What might afflict our... Do we know what afflicts your friend?
No, unfortunately, we do not.
I'm just very tired. I don't feel good.
She looks you up and down and begins to inspect your condition. She says, "Ooh, this is quite a potent condition. I've never seen it before in my life. Well, I think we may be able to aid in relief of at least some of the maladies you are currently undergoing. It will cost you 25. Oh, sorry, not 25. It'll cost you 18 gold pieces.
18 gold?
Hey,
I
look,
think that's quite reasonable.
yeah.
Okay,
Could you-
fine.
Well, that is, of course, for magical remedy. If, of course, you would like to, you may also receive healing of a more mundane variety for a portion of that. Say 18 silver.
Is the magic going to make me feel better faster?
Oh, of course. Our magic here at the Abdaran Temple is, of course, some of the finest magics that are available in the city. And, of course, you would be doing the great work of engaging in commerce with the god of...
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
Have we
let's-
told you
let's-
about the god of commerce?
Oh,
We've heard about the god of commerce.
And
Yeah,
and you know
let's go with
and
the
you
magic.
and you know just for this month and this month only, if you receive a removed disease, and start a savings account with us, we can perform the rite of healing only for 15 gold instead of 18, and comes with a 2 gold deposit with your very, very first bank account.
That is good to know. And we will definitely keep that in mind.
Here's 18 gold, and Holly just
she takes the gold and she places it in a special coin collecting pouch. It's kind of got like all the different like kind of sizes of coins and stuff like that, different currencies on her belt. She kind of puts it in. Do you just give her the exact money, or do you need change?
I give her the exact money.
Okay. As she God of spreadsheets.
Wait, I was about to say, how are you gonna have a difference in change?
She has change. It's like if you want silver
you
pieces.
hear it? It was a change maker.
Yeah, it's one of those like things that they had in the old timey trams,
It was just really confusing because it's like we're dealing with gold and silver. It's like we're not dealing with a platinum. And it's like, what?
Sorry, Breckia's got it. When you enter the promo code for the love of God, you get 50% off your second heal. That's beautiful. That's so appropriate. I wish that was something that clerics did. Like you had a passphrase or a key phrase that you could use. That's amazing. And they send out like a newsletter to all of their parishioners. That's great. All right. So, Holly, after you have paid, she lays her hands upon you and says, Blessings of Abdar, please be bestowed upon this, your humble servant. May the conduit of your energy allow her to continue to stand as a beacon of hope within the city. On this and upon the gold in which she has now passed from one hand to another, may this exchange be fulfilled by removing the disease that afflicts her very person. On this we pray. All right. The removed disease have purged a disease from you. As the...
Oh, no.
I would like for you to roll me just a d6. Odds, it'll be the sewer haze. Evens, it'll be the blight burn.
Oh God, I'm so worried.
Sewer haze is removed.
Wait, but you've got a coupon code for your second heal. If you still feel like crap, you can get it for 50% off.
That's
Can
true.
I get the other move that way?
Do you
Can I
feel
do
well,
better?
All right. Well, what actually happens here? Well, what actually happens here is, as she laid her hands upon you, you feel nothing change because the sewer haze wasn't affecting you.
Mhm.
You almost feel as though nothing, like she didn't do anything.
Wait a minute. Can she contract?
Sewer haze? No.
No, the blight burn. Can the priestess?
Oh. Actually, because she didn't cure it. Yeah, probably. Hold on. Let me make a save real quick.
Oh no.
All right. Well, I'm not going to say what happened there.
I think your face just said everything there, Dad. Well,
Something happened. We'll just leave that there. All right. But yes, you don't feel any better, Holly. And how you want to react to that sensation is entirely up to you.
That sounded very fancy and it was very pretty, but I still feel terrible and I don't think that did anything.
You still feel terrible. My. This isn't good at all. She says, begging your pardon, but I might need the power and the strength of a more powerful healer. Would you wait here for just a moment?
Sure.
She heads on inside. Before too long, returning again with what looks to be another priestess. This one with a very big hat. She steps out, and you can see that there's this raiment of like kind of these keys that hang like almost like a veil behind her, and she says, "I am Priestess Nimue," because that's the name I came up with because Rob's here. Bloody Kiwis. I am Priestess Nimue, and I hear that our healings have not managed to stave off the affliction that you have undergone.
They have not. I feel just as bad now as when I came in. But now I have 18 less gold.
Yes.
So now I feel worse, really.
Yes. Well, we will not abide by unsatisfactory performing of clerical rituals. I'm sure it's nothing but a clerical error.
Patrick just kind of groaned. Oh my god.
I am the Hierophant. Just saying. Freaking laugh at my
Here we
jokes.
go.
All right. So Nix's dead eyes and unsubscribe. All right. So she begins to inspect you with a medicine check. Let's see how she goes here. All right. Okay. With a 27, she does identify that you did have a secondary disease, which is why it appeared not to work. She has identified that you still have only one disease and immediately sends her priestess off to go get rested and checked out. As for you, however, she assures you that the 18 gold has gone to good use, but does not wish for you to feel as though that you have left here dissatisfied. She will offer the next healing at half price at 9 gold pieces, which, if you take the offer to open up a bank account, will only cost you 8 gold pieces, 6 gold pieces for the heal, and 2 gold pieces now kept in a savings trust fund at the bank. So you don't lose that money. It's just set aside to increase in interest over time.
What's the interest rate on that?
The interest rate is 1.5 per annum, which is not bad. Also, Breccia, we don't joke here. We take everything. That's it. Just say, oh, is that it?
Sure, I'll open a bank account. Why not?
Oh, excellent. Here. She begins to pull out some paperwork. Make a will save. As you try not... as you're just sitting there dying. Like, just...
In triplicate.
Yeah, just... Yeah, here's all the paperwork. Sign here, here, here. Initials here. Here's an acknowledgement and understanding that this savings account will be inaccessible for the next 6 months as it begins to accrue equity. As you do so, you somehow manage to keep it all together.
And now that parchment needs to be burned.
All right. So she takes the paperwork as well as the 8 gold that you provide, and of course manage to get yet another heal. This one, of course, even more potent than the first one. As she reaches down into her clerical pouch and pulls out what looks to be a necklace with various baubles and trinkets. She says, upon the first coins that were exchanged from this very temple, the first signs of civilization that wrought through this otherwise wild and untamed land, we beseech you to dig into the powers that be and rise the strength of an entire city to remove the affliction that plagues our dear friend here. In Abdar's name, we ask and we trust. And with that, your second disease is now removed.
Oh, thank God.
All right. So, Odd Bandicoot has claimed an insight check. An insight check here would be the following. The persons that stole the body of the Shoanti son. It's not a child, really. It's an adult, so yeah. The person who has stolen the body has sold it. This is an exchange of commerce. This is something that, of course, the god of commerce, very, very well and adept at, might also be able to provide insight bonuses to. If you were to perhaps make this woman feel kind of guilty that they didn't get they didn't identify how many diseases and stuff like that, and they didn't give you the right quote, as it were, at the very, very start, you might be able to wrangle a favor in terms of finding out about any transactions that happened with people who were members of the gravediggers and the like. People who worked in the gray, you may be able to find out, like, oh, there was quite a large transaction at this particular time from this particular person. That is the insight bonus provided by none other than the wonderful Odd Bandicoot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Odd Bandicoot.
Thank you, Bandicoot. So I understand that I would have to pay for 2 diseases. What I don't understand is why the first person didn't tell me I had 2 diseases.
Ah, yes. Well, Sister Marjorie is still very much an apprentice, not quite risen to the higher ranks of the clergyhood just yet. For the time being, she sees a problem in front of her and addresses it, and has not yet learned the wizened tales of those who learn from experience and age.
So what you're saying is that the first people that we meet when we come into your temple are your least skilled clerics?
I am feeling like now I'm not entirely certain I'm going to stay with your bank and keep making deposits after the 6 months, because it does seem like maybe you should have someone a little more experienced up front, because I'm personally feeling a little hurt by this entire situation.
Oh, well, we wouldn't want that. Well, first of all, we will ensure that we put more experienced people at the front. Traditionally, the younger members of the clergy are the greeters and the like. With respect, Marjorie probably should have forwarded your inquiry further in to one of the clerics with a bit more time spent with the cloth. But well, what reparations could I possibly offer to help alleviate your concerns and help win your trust with the Bank of Abdar?
Well, I think to win my trust, it would be nice if you could answer a couple questions from my friend, because she did have some questions before coming in here. And I think that would be a very nice thing to do. And I think that would help me establish more trust in my account with you guys.
I don't see a problem with this. I'm of course always willing to share insight and stories of the great and wonderful Abdar.
Actually, my inquiries are more of a commercial nature, and I am looking at Holly with absolute adoration. That was masterful. You can see it on my face. I'm like, wow. But so I say to the priestess that my inquiry is more commercial in nature. I am looking for a transaction that would have happened recently, shortly after the nights of the riots, perhaps a large transaction, possibly involving people in the gray, maybe.
She ponders for a moment and says, well, that sort of information is quite confidential. Of course, we wouldn't be able to breach said confidentiality without good reason, and the only reason would be if the transaction itself were in some way, shape, or form against the nature of creating civilization or nurturing economy. Extending this, Quinn would know that that you are currently looking into something to prevent war with the Shoanti tribes, which, of course, again, if the Shoanti war, that's going to be bad for commerce.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that is, without giving all the details, I will convey that I am inquiring into this transaction because understanding these details and putting a wrong right is going to be necessary, because I have reason to believe that another state will go to war with us.
I see. Well, while war can indeed generate a lot of economy, it does have a tendency to tear down the foundations. And if war is something to be prevented, then I think it would be all right to share this information. I do recall there was a rather large transaction that occurred from a man named Mr. No, I'm not going to call him that. I was going to call him Mr. Graves. I'm definitely not doing that. Mr. I'm going to use chat here. Bam. Mr. Acia. ACIA. Mr. Acia deposited a large sum of money, not relative to his normal income, the night shortly after the riots. We had many of our clerics keeping very good tabs on all of the transactions, should in case many of those, rioters attempt to pawn their ill-gotten gains. Mr. Asia was on the mark, but nothing checked out in terms of stuff that was potentially stolen when the guards came in to look at it.
And Mr. AC, he works in the gray?
Yes, he does. He is a gravedigger.
Okay.
Specializing in, of course, the restful dead. I believe he spends most of his time in the Grey near the shrines of Pharasma.
Yeah, the Shrines of Pharasma. Thank you very much. I
You're-
appreciate your help.
You're most welcome. And if there's anything else, please do not hesitate to return. Though the fee may, of course, return as well.
Understood.
She bows and she bids you farewell and safe travels. And you know what? Just because she wants to curry that good favor, she is going to also offer a blessing to each of you. Everyone will receive a +1 on their checks for the next hour.
Nice.
An hour later, you arrive at the Grey. No.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. It's not going to take that long, but all right. So, just again for the sake of brevity, traveling through the city, you notice that, of course, the city has started quieting down after the riots that occurred from the death of the king. Many of the businesses are starting to rebuild, and the population is starting to get on with their lives. Every now and then, you catch a glimpse of a type of knight you've not seen before. Not just one knight, but like almost like an order of knights. They appear to have large spiked armor, and kind of seem to be very, very, very busy individuals. They look like. Nope. Let's go with, where is it? Well, they are emblazoned with this symbol. And
That's not intimidating at all.
And they look like. It's not that one. Not that one. Come on. I have to have one of them. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, there we go.
Would we be familiar with that symbol?
Make a society check if you would like to identify it. But yes, this is
Society.
Yeah, these are the knights that you can kind of see. Totally not evil. Actually, ironically, they're not. Large spiky spikes. What's this one? Yeah, actually, that's a really good. I love this picture. This is a great picture. Boom. Look at that. That's a great picture. Okay. Not that they're doing this specifically, but they are these knights. All right. So with a society check, we have 11. So that is a no. A 19. Yes. 22. Yes. And Quinn, you doing a society check as well?
I kind of figured the 19 would be.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. It's just whether or not you wanted to know as well. But yeah. All right. So what you identify these guys as are Hell Knights. Now, Hell Knights are a very unique order of knights. They belong to no nation and no kingdom, but walk around and claim sovereignty over everywhere they step. They are an order of knights that believe the law to be unshaking and unbreaking. They are not, despite their appearance, lawful evil. They are lawful neutral. If the laws of the kingdom that they are in are that slavery is permitted, they will hunt down and track down slaves, returning them to their owners, and not bat an eyelid. If the nation's laws are against slavery, they will equally march into a noble's house and free all the slaves. They are only concerned with the word of the law and nothing more, nothing less. There are, again, they're not everywhere, but you do notice there are a few of them, which obviously in the city is, I don't know, take that as you will. They're trying to restore law and order, likely because they heard about the riots and are now trying to go like, what's that? Chaos in that direction? And now are basically just, doling out their brand of like law, as it were.
Yeah, Padrig being of a more chaotic bent in nature is just kind of muttering his breath out. great. The Hell Knights, just what its city needs. Joyless bastards they are.
I don't think we should play with them.
No, I
don't
think we should
think it would work out.
avoid them. I never met one myself, but from what I hear, they they're not one for nuance or subtlety or really anything beyond the letter of whatever the law happens to be.
Now, there are many orders within the Hell Knights. You know these guys to be Hell Knights of the Order of the Nail. They are actually, as Labcoat Cosplay says, completely against chaos. So they are the anti-chaos Order of the Knights. So there are actually Hell Knights of the Order of the Chain, who focus on prisons and prisoners. Hell Knights of the Order of the Gate, who actually kind of minority report, use oracles to predict future crimes and stop them. You've got, like, Hell Knights from the Order of the Pyre, who stop mages and, you know, witches and all that sort of stuff. You've got lots of different Hell Knight orders. These guys of the Nail, they are bad news for anyone, like, especially, like, rebellions and things like that. Yeah, these guys are bad news for that.
Yeah.
Well, considering that
to be avoided.
since our party is nearly pure chaos,
yeah,
we might want to keep our heads down.
Yeah, I think they're best to be avoided.
All right. Now, you you make your way over to the Gray. Over here, this area is almost entirely made up of tombstones and grave plots that stretch out for quite some ways. The winding paths between are filled with mourners, as well as obviously loved ones, saying goodbye to their dearly departed. In the kind of, I guess, let's see, what's T11? T11 is the Grand Cathedral of Pharasma. There we go, beautiful. So, in the lower quarter, so you can kind of see over here where T11 is, that is the Grand Cathedral of Pharasma, the goddess of death and, death, midwifery, and fate is her purview. Her symbol, a twisted star that coils around, and this is just a massive cathedral to that. As you look around and ask, you eventually find Asia tending to what looks to be a small kind of a gravestone with a chisel and hammer.
How many other people are around? Or is he in a fairly secluded section?
He's pretty secluded in this area. You can hear the sounds of like other craftsmen in this area. So he's currently working on some stone masonry for obviously tombs and stuff like that. But nearby you can kind of hear, not too far, but like far enough that you're not in eyesight. You can hear like a carpentry workshop. You can hear some metallurgy, some stuff happening there. Obviously people making stuff for the graves and the like.
Okay.
Just a point of clarity, because I don't remember.
You mean point of clarity?
What's the general opinion of necromancy in Korvosa? Is it one of those, oh my god, necromancy, no, or is it?
Yeah,
it's kind of allowable, but not socially acceptable.
No, necromancy bad, generally speaking. Like, okay. Sorry, let me rephrase. Necromancy, the magic, not bad. Most or a lot of necromantic spells definitely do feel bad. So, like, raising the dead, for example. The, like, bodies are considered to be sacred, especially to Pharasmans, right? Like, it's one of those things. I would say that a necromancer is would probably there are situations where a necromancer would be accepted, especially if they don't raise the dead and the like, but a lot of people associate necromancers with those who deal with the undead and the like. So as long as you're talking about necromancers, the school of magic, they are kind of accepted, but everyone kind of looks at them the same way you look at Slytherin. And then if you look at necromancy in the terms of raising the dead, that's a big no-no.
Gotcha.
All right. So there he is, working away, chiseling on the stone. Tink, tink, tink. Tink, 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 tink. He gets some water and pours it on the stone, and starts to use a whetstone to kind of carve out the curvatures of this very, very beautiful bird.
So I sort of whispered to my friends, maybe we space ourselves evenly around him as we approach.
Just sounds like a plan.
Not a complete circle, but a bit of a semicircle.
A bit of a not really many places to run.
That's yeah.
I will.
Is Rykon talking? Because I see his mouth moving.
Hey
No,
Dante,
I am not.
Oh, okay. just
are you eating snacks?
Yes. I've been actually having a lacking of food intake, so it's been affecting my stomach.
That's okay. I was like, I wonder if he's muted, and he doesn't know. And just sitting here. It's like, damn, Michael's a jerk. He just keeps ignoring me. Every game I show up, he just doesn't pay any attention.
So Padrick will kind of circle around.
Yep.
Behind him.
All right, Dante, where are you going?
He will go on to the left side.
Okay, Holly.
Holly's gonna try to stealth into position and kind of angle herself behind him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll have the three of you make stealth checks if you would. This guy's not gonna have a great perception because he's a peasant. All right, you have to beat 10. Oh. You're very lucky you're an expert. That is not as big a difference as you guys should be having with this guy, just saying. All right. As you guys make your way hiding around this guy as he's working, Holly, you kind of step on a bush and he kind of looks up and instead of seeing you, he sees Penny. He sees the dog and he's like, shoo, tss, tss, get away. And Penny just kind of leaves. He then goes back to his work, paying no attention.
And I'll approach straight up. Hey, are you Asia?
Well, that depends. Who's asking?
My name's Quinn.
Well, I don't know Quinn, but yes,
No, we've never met.
I'm Asia. I'm a worker here. What can I do you for?
Well, you're doing a mighty fine job on that bird.
Oh, well,
Looks
thank you.
great.
I like birds. They're
Birds are
peaceful,
nice.
they are.
They are. So, I understand that there's a chance you might have a bit of a side racket.
He
Is that right?
he kind of continues to polish the bird. He's kind of like, he doesn't seem to react immediately.
I just wait for the answer.
He says, "A side racket? Oh, well, don't know nothing about no side rackets. Spend most of my time keeping busy here with all the work and stuff with the tombs. Someone's got to be carving these birds."
Yeah, the little bird tells me that you came into some extra money lately.
Well, I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about, miss.
Look, your business is your business. But there's something very important I need from that last shipment you delivered.
He stops and he looks over and he says, "You a cop?"
No.
Because you got to tell me if you're a cop. Jesus.
There's some sort of rule about that.
There is not.
I'm
That is the most ridiculous thing I ever hear in like movies and stuff. Is when people say, "Are you a cop? You got to tell me if you're a cop." It's like, yeah, imagine an undercover police officer. It's like, damn,
Yeah,
that always trips me up. Yeah, I'm a cop. Oh, all right. Anyway, he says, well, if you're looking for some extra bits and pieces, I know we're
it's a very specific item that I need, and you probably have already delivered it.
Oh, Well,
Can
if
you tell me where it went? It would have been
Uh,
after the nights of the riots. Very distinctive young man. Lots of skull tattoos.
oh, you're after the Shoanti person.
Yeah,
Well,
it's important.
I'm afraid I've already sold that particular little feller.
And I step in a little bit closer. I figured you might have, but
Okay.
what I need is for you to tell me who you sold it to.
All right. How would you like to convince him? Would you like to intimidate him, or would you like to just like convince him, like, hey, I can make it worth your while?
That's an interesting question. I could make it worth you. Well, he just took a big payment, though. I'm gonna try. I can make it worth your while. I
Okay. He's
jingle my purse.
all right. How much are you gonna offer? Like, let's put it that way. Because keep in mind, he got a big payout for selling
I
the body.
know.
This is just for the information on who he sold it to, so it doesn't have to be like a big payout.
Yeah. I'm just sort of jingling my purse promisingly, but I'm not committing to a number yet. I'm sort of waiting for a reaction.
He seems quite interested, but he's waiting for a number.
All right.
So Patrick is inclined to help with sliding up behind him and pressing the barrel of a gun to the back of his skull.
All right. In the use of that distraction, so as you're jingling the coin, he sort of steps away from the statue. Patrick kind of steps forward, and as he kind of looks, he sort of strokes his beard. Suddenly, there's the pressure of the barrel against the back of his head. He says,
And a whisper
okay.
in his ear. You should tell her.
Oh, okay.
I think
Take it
I
easy.
think a silver is enough. Don't you?
Oh, yeah, no,
silver.
Silver'd be plenty. Silver's plenty.
All right.
He takes the silver coin, and as he puts it away, he says, "Okay, listen, I sold it to a guy. He's pretty common around here. Hangs out by the dead Warrens. Goes by the name of Rolth Lamb."
Really? Any relation?
You hear the name. It definitely sounds like there's a relation. You can ask him about it, but he probably doesn't know. But
Yeah. And he hangs out where?
the dead Warrens. If you just head down the path here, take a left at the end of the pathway by the Crying Angel. You'll come to it. You'll need to head down into the crypt there, but the dead Warrens is where he normally finds himself.
Left at the Weeping Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Don't blink.
Not good. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. It's not like I had a gun to my head.
And as a parting gift, Patrick will just say, necromancers are bad news, even if they pay well. You know you're going to wind up one of their puppets if you keep dealing with them, right?
He says, I mean, it's just times are tough, like the riots and the emperor being dead. And just
times are tough.
Times
you
are
know
tough.
what's also tough? Being a shambling pile of bones
That's
and having your soul never go on because you're an undead monstrosity. I'm just saying, and he'll put his gun away.
As you put your gun away, and I presume, unless anyone wants to do anything else, you all make your way towards the dead Warrens. There's a moment where Asia looks up towards the Temple of Pharasma, and kind of like Hunchback of Notre Dame style, all the gargoyles seem to be looking down on Asia. There's this kind of like large stained glass window of Pharasma, and her eyes are kind of peering down at this guy. All of the tombstones and the statues are kind of staring at him as well as. And, you know, he kind of feels that sinking in his very soul as he drops to his knees. And he, like, shakes his head. You have definitely scared this man straight. All right.
I'm going to stop at the weeping angel.
Very well.
Don't blink.
Not going to blink. And say, dead warrens. Sounds kind of dangerous, doesn't it?
Doesn't sound inviting, that's for sure.
How much experience do you have fighting the undead? And I look at everybody, hoping they have more than I have.
Can't say that I have a lot. I'm hoping that those holy water bullets that I picked up
Oh, that's
work
right.
as intended.
Okay.
Dante, you've actually dealt with a couple of undead in the past, in the forests around this area. The undead that have kind of awoken here seem to be quite susceptible to bludgeoning damage, especially the skeletal variety. Just some insight into Dante's backstory stuff.
To know.
So, yep.
I was just going to say, if we see some corpse that's attacking us that looks like our guy, don't hurt it.
Well, we can hurt him a little, right? Just not all the
You
way.
need to like
Make sure he's
neutralize the threat without damaging him.
But we can damage like legs and arms.
Not desecrating the body.
Yeah,
It would be better if you did not.
I think as long as he's all in one piece, it's gonna be okay. I mean, you know, he's dead, so they can probably, I'm hoping, I don't know, excuse, like, you know, if he got stabbed and that's how he died, like, that would be
That's true.
reasonable. But, like, I think, like, you know, no decapitation, that sort of thing.
All right. We ready?
All right.
Seems awfully complicated. And are you sure we're ready?
No. I am absolutely not sure.
With these words of confidence from these stirring words of confidence from the leader of the group, you make your way to the dead warrens. A large. Okay, let's read this out. A large room supported. Sorry, no, that's not this room. That is over here. Okay. The dead warrens are a dimly lit patch of eerily glowing but harmless molds that fill the chambers to a large mausoleum that leads down into what looks to be another section of the graveyard here. As you begin to make your way down, you find yourself at the bottom of a stairwell. At the bottom is a chamber that only Holly can see into, as it is pitch dark. Padrig, I'm going to say that you, because that's where I've put the light source, have pulled out a torch and are currently wielding it.
Okay.
Okay.
Should I be?
I'll have my rifle then propped in the one-handed position if I'm wielding a torch.
Very well.
And I can't see that. Well, I can't see in because it's pitch dark and I only have low light vision, so I still need some light, right?
Yep. As long as you have light, you can see.
Excuse me, Holly, can you not scout the entire area without triggering stuff? Because that's... Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to get it to work because it didn't move at first.
Okay. Very well. Okay. Well, are you actually scouting ahead, or are you just fiddling around?
No, you said I
was
could
actually-
see it, and then I couldn't see it, and then I was confused, and then I tried to move it, and then it didn't actually move, and then I got more confused, and then I got click happy.
Yep. All right.
I was
What-
actually going to ask her if she could stealthily.
Okay, cool. Well, you can scout ahead. So, if you would like to. The chamber in front of you is a... Okay, this large room in front of you is supported by 4 wide pillars of stone. The ceiling arches above to a dome nearly 20 foot high. The walls are lined with skeletons caked into the mud. Adult human bones mostly, and here and there smaller ones that may have been either from halfling or children. 15-foot pits lie to the east and west, filled with large heaps of hundreds of bones. To the south, a crude hole seems to have been gouged into the wall, providing an access to a tunnel beyond.
Okay, so Quinn, you want me to go ahead a little bit and see what's going on?
And I am going to burn some jinx points. Go on. Start your scouting.
I'm waiting for Quinn to respond.
Is the tunnel a crude, like dug into the earth?
Oh,
or
you can't. You,
stone?
so only Holly can see the tunnel at the other
Right.
end of the room. It is
Right.
dug into the earth.
Okay.
Before we get started, too, assuming the downtime we had, we're all back up at max HP.
Yes. Let me give you guys the long rest here.
Any weird?
There you go. You guys now have the overnight rest. And Patrick, because it's been 2 days, there's that. And I believe you're no longer clumsy.
Right, because I've got the prosthetic hand now.
Yes, correct. All right. All right. The scene is yours. Please feel free to explore, but please only move in 10-foot increments as you search through this area.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I will stick near the people who cannot see well since I have the torch, although if someone else wants to take it so that I can use my weapon two-handed, I'd appreciate it.
I'll
I
take it.
can- Fine. Do you want me to just move ahead a little bit and see what's going on?
Dante can take a hold of the torch. He only needs one hand.
Okay,
All
maybe
right.
not too far ahead. Okay, did the person with the torch just leave me?
No.
Sorry.
Yep, and that was literally Patrick closing the torch and then Dante starting one.
Okay, I'm like
Yeah, look.
plunged into darkness.
Oh yeah, no. Fantasy Grounds has a great lighting system, which like I mean, if you you guys can look at my screen right now if you like. You can see that on one hand, if I click on Dante, it shows what Dante can see. If I click on Patrick, it shows what Patrick can see, and if I click on Holly, it actually shows the dark vision stuff that she can see.
That's pretty cool.
And it's even black and white, so because she can't distinguish color.
And meanwhile, I seem to have lost my map.
That's okay. Let me share that with you again. There it is.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yep, you guys can keep moving through this area, bit by bit.
Is each square 5 or 10?
5 foot.
Okay. So I can move 2 squares.
All right. The air in the ossuary is also quite stale and kind of has that that kind of old and very gravestone smell to it.
Okay, don't hate me. I need you to share it with me again. I don't know how I keep closing it.
Are
Thank
you
you.
hitting the X instead of the arrow?
No, I think I'm trying to drag it around by the side, and maybe I hit the X. I don't know.
Okay.
It's middle mouse button to roam around the map.
Okay.
Hey guys, there's rooms up here too.
Those are literally pits filled with bones.
Oh, never mind.
All right.
I'm not going in there.
Stop right there, please.
Okay.
I need you to make a perception check. Nice. Can you go back 10 foot, please?
Okay.
Just north 10 foot. Yep, that's it. All right. As you begin to make your way closer, Holly, you hear the sounds of a rattling coming from nearby. The bones are moving. As they do so, you watch as they seem to be almost assembling and move and shifting in your direction. You can warn the others if you would like.
I'm going to yell really loud. Something's going on. I don't like this. And the bones are moving a lot and they're noisy and I don't like it.
Very well. In addition, one set of particularly large bones rise from the center of the room thanks to the power of my Jinx Point. As it does not appear, as it appears to be an owlbear's skeleton.
What's he doing down here?
All right. And what's that doing down there? Good question. But we'll answer that as we go into initiative.
Wizards.
All right. Let's see here. Let me just make sure that that's going there. Yep. Okay. So initiative. There we go. Initiative. Boom. There it is. All right. Dante, you are up first. Actually, just because Quinn rolled that one already. There we go. All right. Dante, you are up first.
All right. Well, I am going to. Let's double check what I'm supposed to have available. I'm going to take one of my actions to back away a bit.
Goodbye.
Well, no, it's being very squishy isn't helpful.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I'm going to use Electric Arc on the Owlbear and the Skeleton Guard 3.
Okay. Okay, so you need to make the roll and then you need to roll the damage. Otherwise you might not get the calculation.
They managed to get both half damage either way.
Yep. Alright, so yeah. So roll for the owlbear first. Alright. That will do 0 damage. What? Yeah, no, it'll do 0 damage. Alright, so electricity. So yep, electricity crackles through the owlbear's body, but the electricity is not enough to deal damage to it, and same with the skeleton. So you kind of watch as like the electricity arcs between the bones of this creature. All right, so that is your 1 action to move and 2 actions to cast your lightning.
Yeah.
All right, next up is the owlbear. The owlbear lurches forward. As it does so, almost like a gorilla, its body lumbers with its huge, like, partially torn wings. It reaches up and tries to claw at Quinn. Why is that not a thing? Oh, that is fine. Oops, sorry. Let me adjust this because I don't want to be doing too much here.
Let me guess, he does beastly damage.
No, I don't know why he is, I've broken the code, but that's fine. Alright. So that is 25 to hit Quinn, which is a hit.
Yep.
And the damage is 3. With its second attack, as it swings its claw, is a miss. So it's come down, and as it's charged, one of the hits manages to scrape past and into your armor. Alright, Quinn, you're up.
Alright.
Where's that annoying skeleton rattle coming from?
Well, I mean, they are all bones.
It is. There we go, that's the one. All right, cool.
I'd like to pull out my sap
Mm-hmm.
and try to kneecap him.
Go for it. Did you drop it onto the model?
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
My bad. I'll do it again.
Nice, solid hit. Deal your damage.
Hang on. I got window management. There we go. 3 points. Right on the knee.
All right, that is 3 points of non-lethal damage to it as you hit it with your sap. You do have 2 more actions if you want to take them.
Alright, I'll try to wail on him again. Same target, right on the knee.
All right. You swing and try to clap it in the knee.
No.
Ooh, that is a critical miss.
Oh.
All right, let's see what happens here.
Oh no.
All right, give us a 1 to 5.
3.
3. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Melee attack. You don't have a shield. Here we go. The pointy end goes there. You become wounded 1. Yeah, that's...
With
yeah,
my
that's...
blunt weapon. Okay.
I think the way this works is that you've bruised yourself quite badly. Now, the way that
Alright.
wounded works is if you do get knocked out at any point, you start at dying 2 instead of dying 1.
Alright.
So that's all that wounded does.
Yeah.
All right, and you've got 1 more action.
I'm gonna take the opportunity to move back just a bit and see if I can get them in that little narrow defile.
All right, not a problem. Now, just FYI, if you're trying for a bottleneck, you need to take another 5 foot back. Otherwise, it's like 4 squares in front of you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Common mistake is a bottleneck. You need to kind of make sure they all have that one place, but that's fine.
Right.
All right, not a problem. After that exchange, Holly, we're up to you. You can see directly in front of you is one of these skeletons. It kind of pulls itself out of the mud from the pillar, and it's got a... Does it have a sword? Do you have a sword, little friend? He has a... he does have a sword. He has a broken scimitar.
Real quick, housekeeping. Am I still drained and sickened, or did the clerics get rid of that too?
No, they would have gotten rid of the disease, but your drain and sicken will go after you have a good rest.
Okay, blast it. Oh, this should be exciting. I am gonna pull my crossbow out and back up a little bit.
All right. So 1 action to pull the crossbow out. 2nd action to step there.
Actually, there.
Yep.
And now I'm gonna shoot that guy.
All right. Make your attack.
Wait, nope, wrong button. Sorry, hang on. There we go.
You watch as the arrow flies directly at it and into its chest and out the back. Whew. All right. Which brings us to the skeleton guards. This guy can't see anyone, so he just kind of goes back and forth. He'll just kind of stay here for the time being. 2nd skeleton just got shot, so he's going to make its way 5, 10, 15, 20 over to Holly. And attempt to swipe at you with a scimitar. Gets a critical fumble. And let's get a number from Holly real quick.
That's exciting. Let's go with a 5.
5. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Butterfingers. He drops his weapon. He no longer has a scimitar. And he is also not smart enough to go and pick it up, so he is going to just swing at you with his claw for his next attack. And as per the normal, I will now roll again, and if I get another natural 1, I will die. No. Alright, so, with the claw, that's another fumble. Give us another number between 1 to 5.
I was okay with 5 before. Let's go with 5 again.
Alright, 5 again. Catastrophic failure. You fall unconscious until you wake up or the end of your next turn.
That doesn't work for skeletons.
It does not. I'm gonna kill this guy. He just collapses as he tries to hit you with his shield. As he tries to hit you with the scimitar. Basically, what I'm gonna say is he's thrown it at the ground. It's bounced off the stone floor, bounced past Holly's head, like very, very narrowly, bounced off the ceiling, and then just gone into its skull, and then just the whole thing collapses. And that guy is gone. Get out of here, you. Alright. The next skeleton, again, also cannot see anything, so he kind of puddles around a little bit. The fourth skeleton can see Padrig, and will charge at Padrig with its scimitar. Ooh, that one's a nice hit. That is 5 points of damage. Now what does forceful do? Forceful weapon. Because it's more second attack, you get a bonus equal to the number of weapon damage dice every time you hit. So the next attack is getting a +1 because he's hit you with 1d6. All right, cool. Second attack with the scimitar. That will miss. Wow, that'll miss with a 19. Jam. Okay, fair enough. Yep. Done. Alright, so the scimitar has come down once and cut you across the chest. The second one, he's tried to cleave you again and has just not managed to. Which then brings us to Padrig.
Alright, well, I was going to shoot at this owlbear because it was the only one I could see, but now there's someone right in front of me, so I'm going to pull my rifle up, two-handed shot with him. For now, I'm using regular bullets because does piercing or bludgeoning, whichever's going to hurt more, so should do bludgeoning damage to him if I hit him.
The bullet flies and finds purchase in the skeleton.
Alright.
It is destroyed in a single explosion of damage.
Alright, well, with that, I'm going to back up a little bit so I've got a better bead on this owlbear. And I will then take a shot at him.
Alright, take your shot. That'll hit.
Nice.
Alright, very nice. Wow, that has absolutely destroyed that. And the owlbear is gone.
Skeletons.
Is everything dead? No.
Everything I can see is gone.
Yep, that's true. Alright, just for the sake, again, of brevity, I'm going to say that it will not take you long to clear out the last two skeletons here. As you catch your breath, you hear the sounds of soft giggling.
Oh, no.
It sounds like sounds like this. Maybe. Actually, probably not. Here we go. Come on. Oh, yes, here we go.
Hey guys, does that sound like the same guy?
Ugh.
All right.
Kind of
That
does.
crazy half-orc who nearly drowned us all.
Oh, it's the same sound effect, but it's not the same guy.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought maybe he'd been purchased and revived.
No.
You never know. It's still not a good
Oh
sign.
man,
We
see now
haven't
that's
had-
now that's a better idea than what I was gonna do. Maybe I will bring him back. Hold on, let me. Yeah,
Shut up. You guys ruined it. Damn it. Stop giving him ideas.
I love that. No, I'm totally doing that. No, Giggles is coming back. Come here, Giggles. I'm absolutely doing that. You are so back as a zombie next week. Okay. So anyway, so what you actually see, Holly in particular, you can see shining against the light of the torch that you've got are these two glassy mirrored eyes. You know what these are because you've heard rumors. Actually, Quinn, you as well probably have. Among the children and the people who are often forgotten in the city, these creatures are known as the Darrow. Creatures that live beneath the cities that steal and kidnap people. They're akin to like the boogeyman. Anyway, you can hear the sounds of giggling coming from in those in kind of the tunnels as those mirrored lights, those mirrored eyes kind of disappear. Like, you know when you're in the middle of the night and you catch your cat just like staring like at something? This is kind of one of those moments. Except it's actually a person. And with that, on that very, very spooky note, we are going to end today's session. Thank you to everyone for joining us today. We hope you guys had a great time. I know that I did. We only had a very, very short combat, but we are now heading into a dungeon delve, so there'll be a lot more action and drama that'll be happening over the next few weeks. Thank you, of course, to our sponsors for once again helping keep us fed and clothed and all the other stuff that is very, very important to our channel. Sponsors, there they are. Boom! Hero Forge for the wonderful artworks you see on stream. Fantasy Grounds for our VTT of choice, and Sirenscape for the amazing sounds that you guys were enjoying throughout the game today. Thank you to, of course, my wonderful players, Twiff, Malakisa, Ayajanasi, and, of course, Rykon for joining me today. You guys are all amazing. Thank you to my audience for not only being here and giving me your morning or evening or afternoon. Guys, I cannot stress enough how much I value your time, so thank you for being here and spending the time with me. A lot of you had some really, really amusing stuff to say during the game, which I think is important. I mean, why be on Twitch if you're not going to, read and enjoy the chat and stuff like that? So thank you guys for being a part of that, and thank you, of course, for all the donations, for all of the channel point rewards and the like. We almost forgive me for the clerical error joke. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you all, guys, for joining us. We will be back next week to continue this adventure. But if you guys want to join any of my adventures, please go check out my... Oops, no, that's not right. I can spell. Please go check out my Patreon. For, I think, $50 a month, we have seats on tables such as this. I think I've got one seat left on this table, and I've got a bunch of seats left on the Friday table coming up. So if you guys are interested in joining us, consider it. It's yeah, it's a pretty good seat, I guess. I think I do okay. I think my games are all right. Anyway, I digress. What else? What else have I forgotten? Have I forgotten anything? Oh yeah, what am I going to be on? Blah, blah, blah. What am I doing tomorrow? Normally I'd have Rime of the Frostmaiden tomorrow, but we finished. The finale's done. What can I do tomorrow? Do you want to do some world building tomorrow? Who wants to do world building tomorrow? Let's do some world building. Yeah, let's build some of Elestria tomorrow. So tomorrow morning we'll have a little bit of a stream and we'll do some world building, chuck on World Anvil and go and have a bit of fun. So yeah, because obviously summer camp is next month, so we should be doing some prep for that too. So there you go. We'll do some world building on the channel tomorrow. So tune in for that. It'll be whatever time it is for you now. It'll be 1 hour ago tomorrow. There you go. All right. Now we are going to, of course, as always, pass on our raid, pass on our love as we go and check out someone else's channel who is out and about doing stuff. Oh, Mendara, you are absolutely not awake right now. Don't lie to me, Twitch. Dag the Builder, can he make it? Of course he can. He's got the creativity of a log. Okay. Scarlet. Yeah, Scarlet is out and about, running her campaign of Out of the Abyss. So we are going to go and share some love over there, guys. Scarlet is a wonderful performer, wonderful DJ, who creates amazing D&D and RPG sound sets. She also did the artwork that we used for the marathon game. Which was amazing. So if you guys actually want to check that out, go see that. Has the Friday series been announced yet? Friday series? Friday series. Is there a Friday series? No, it hasn't been announced. What announcement? I don't have an announcement. What are you talking about? I will also say this. Sirens and Silver, which is my Friday game, is coming up on Friday as well. So do be sure to check that out because we are getting towards the finale of Sirens and Silver, which is our pirate game. So yeah. Definitely check that out. More information to be coming. But if you want to keep up to date with all Dead Aussie Gamer stuff, check us out on all this stuff. Linktree, Twitch, Twitter, etc. And our Discord. Join our Discord. Discord's a cool place to hang, and you'll always get notifications on when I go live. So there you go. All right. Stay safe. Stay wonderful. Until we meet again, as always, from me to you, game hard or die trying. Bye, everyone.
Bye.